Hey boos, in this video I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Okay, here you go. My name is Reginae, but you can call me Baby Carter. They love me and they hate me cause I'm Weezy daughter. Yeah, I'm a brat and I think it's my world. And I'm stunting like my daddy cause I'm daddy's little girl.
All of you jealous, ugly bitches. You know what? Very perky black ass in this room today. You know those bitches. Cause I'm a boss.
So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Reginae Carter and a recent episode that was on T.I and Tiny's Family Hustle, I believe, or Friends and Family Hustle. And this particular episode really hit home for me because I can relate to Reginae Carter. Basically, her father has been around, but hasn't really been affectionate or has really went out of his way to show love unless it was through material things like buying her a car, buying her things, but he just wasn't there emotionally. And now it's affecting her in her adult life, in her relationship with the rapper. I don't even know his name, you guys. I don't know his name like that, but we've seen them posted on the Shade Room. We've seen her posted with him on the Shade Room, and I honestly feel like she's in the relationship because she's not getting that emotional or affectionate relationship from her father. And then on top of that, it doesn't help with the pressure of social media. Like the pressure of social media, and everyone is looking to her to be perfect and not make any mistakes because she's Reginae Carter, she's Lil Wayne's daughter. You know, the pressure is really applied on her life in every little move and every little detail. So I just want to break down this particular clip that I came across on Instagram.
I don't trust people.
The fear that I have for her as a mother is that there's a lot bottled up that needs to be addressed. And the social media stuff, these things didn't really bother her much as a kid, but you know, the negativity is not stopping. And I noticed within the past year how every time you say something to her, she's just automatically thinking people are coming at her. And she never was like that before.
This phase that Reginae is in, it screams for help. It screams for the love of her father, and it also screams she's lost. Like she doesn't know who she is and she's trying to find her self-identity. And it's normal. It's something that we all go through. It's something that we will all experience. And she's in that weird age where you're 18 and you're not 21 yet, or she's in that weird age where she's 21 or she's somewhere in between 21 and 25. Like she's in that weird phase, and we all go through that weird phase where we don't know who we are and we're just trying to figure it out. You know, we're wanting to separate ourselves from our parents and form our own identity. We're no longer wanting to do what our parents want us to do, but actually do what we want to do, what we feel is our purpose. And it's really sad that people can't see that. Like I can see it clearly. I see a girl that is lost, but she's trying to find herself. And it's frustrating. It's confusing because you have everyone in your ear trying to tell you what you need to do. But deep down, only you can make that choice. Only you can make that decision. And my advice to anyone that's experiencing this is that you have to go through it in order for you to identify with who you are. And it's something that no one ever talks about. So that's my advice. You have to go through it. You have to go through it for you to understand who you are. Because this is where you learn who you are. This is how you find out who you are. You have to go through that weird phase. And how you can get through the weird phase is by trying new things. New music, new food, try a different culture, live a different culture, travel, like experiences. That's all you need is experiences, relationships, that can be an experience. Like, you just need to get out here and get more experiences under your belt. And the more experiences that you get under your belt, that's how you will be able to identify with who you are. Let's go ahead and take a look to see what else she had to say.
Hi. How you doing?
Good, how are you? I'm Dr. Metzger.
Nice to meet you.
Have a seat. So how you been doing?
Well, basically, I've been struggling with myself, kind of. I got so many people in my ear. I got social media that I read
That's a
all
beast
the
by
time.
itself.
Like right now, I'm struggling to become my own person and to become the lovable Reginae that I used to be. Sometimes I think that I'm really messed up.
What makes you think that?
Like, sometimes the way that I talk to people.
Say anything you want about me, because y'all been saying it for years. All type of stuff. I done heard all type of stuff. I'm over it. I'm okay. I know I'm beautiful. I got a relationship with God.
I don't like it.
I remember when Reginae was younger and all you saw was her smile. Like, that's the first thing you would notice about her when you saw her. But now with her getting older and her seeing life for what it is and for what it's not, I think it's really taken a toll on her. And we all go through this. I went through it, and it's really that age where you're 18, but you're not really 21 yet. And it's like that weird area. And sometimes it can extend further than that, especially if you're in college and you're so focused on your books that maybe you don't experience it until after you graduate. But a lot of times we see this, and a lot of times, you know, us putting our demons on hold because we're trying to achieve, you know, a college degree or whatever, we're not able to really deal with these things. You know, we ignore them, we push them off to the side, we make it seem like it's not something that is bothering us, and honestly, like, we're just festering in it, or we're prolonging healing. Healing is something that we all need because we've all been through things. Our stories are different, but we go through similar situations, and that's what she's experiencing right now. You know, I think her relationship with this rapper is really opening her eyes and teaching her different and new things about herself. A lot of people are saying, oh, she needs to get rid of him, she shouldn't be with him, whatever. But I mean, we're once again looking from the outside in and trying to dictate what she should do. But I mean, sometimes we have to go through things to learn certain lessons. You know, we have to experience things. We can't just go off of what everyone else is telling us. And that's that part of the phase that is so crucial and so important. When you're in that phase where you don't know who you are, you don't really know what you want to do with your life, from that age of 18 to 21 and sometimes even 25, you have to go through things in order for you to figure out what you want, who you are. You can't just skip that part. So to have all these people in your ear can make it more confusing and make it more difficult. Having your mom in your ear, your parents in your ear, and then social media influencing you on the daily can cause you to just be confused. And I really don't know what it's really like for the younger generation, because you guys were exposed to this so soon, so early, so young. For me, it's something that I feel like I got the better end of the stick, but for the younger generation, I really feel bad for you guys, because you guys have a lot of pressure when it comes to social media, and then you also have the pressure of your parents. It can just bring on a lot of confusion. So let's go ahead and take a look to see what else she had to say.
You feel like that's not you?
But it's only because I feel like they're coming for me, and I don't want anybody to do me wrong. All I know is Reginae Carter, Lil Wayne's daughter, and Toya's daughter. That's why I keep a guard up now.
Are you like that in your relationships and like your romantic relationship? Because that's usually where it'll play out the most.
Another thing that I wanted to point out is that a lot of times us Black women and brown women, we ignore that we have issues. You know, we don't acknowledge them. It's like we're almost afraid to acknowledge that we have issues within ourselves that we need to work on. And Reginae, she's lashing out because she's realizing that being in this relationship with this rapper, that she never got that affection from her dad. She never got that emotional connection with her dad. Like, she kind of doesn't really know him, you know, like she really doesn't know him. She knows Lil Wayne, but she doesn't know her actual father. She never had that real relationship, you know, with her dad. He provided everything and more for her, but still, at the end of the day, when you don't have an emotional connection with your father, it can definitely bring issues into any relationship that you have with any man. And I think she's experiencing that. I think she's getting that emotional connection from the guy that she's dating, but it's because she's being exposed to it for the first time. She doesn't really know how to deal with it. And I don't think she knows how to separate the two between being, you know, disrespected, but also having an emotional relationship with a man, if that makes sense. And from my personal experience with my father, I learned that it's important that you are there as a man for your children, not just physically, but emotionally. It's important that you show them affection. It's important that you verbally display love for them. To hear the words, I love you, I'm proud of you. Those are words that in my upbringing, in my childhood, I never really heard. And it has an effect on me being able to take compliments. It has an effect on me being able to trust men when they say things like, you're beautiful, or you have a nice smile. It's like, is this man really telling me that because he means it? Or is he telling me that because he wants something from me? I can relate to Reginae when she said she doesn't trust people, because you never know if people are being honest with you or if they want something from you. And seeing how she's the daughter of Lil Wayne, I'm sure she doesn't really trust people that much because they probably tried to use her to get closer to him. You just never know. But let's go ahead and take a look to see what else she had to say.
My boyfriend. I don't want to question his loyalty, but at the same time, that's where everything goes wrong with us.
Well, what were the relationships like when you were growing up, like with your parents? And
It was always me and my mom. And then probably when I got around like 8 years old, 10 years old, that's when I started like a real relationship with my father.
do you feel like he's proud of you?
I don't really know because he doesn't show it.
Maybe that's playing into your relationships now, where you're the one who's kind of showing the emotion, but you don't see it back. So how's the relationship now?
He's very intimidating to me. I say my dad's intimidating because, you know, he's very to himself and not as affectionate. So I don't know how to come into his world sometimes.
So I'm going to wrap up this video by stating that a lot of times us Black women, we are labeled angry, bitter, and it's because we lash out, or worst case scenario, we have a defense mechanism up constantly because we're so used to being disrespected, or we're so used to being taunted or just horribly treated, and it comes across like we're angry or aggressive, but in reality we're just trying to protect ourselves because we never had anyone in our corner that did that for us, and it makes us come across masculine. And I see this a lot of times with women, Black women particularly, defending themselves, and then they're so quickly to be called angry, bitter, aggressive, and just all of the above. So I think her lashing out and her always needing to respond, it's just her defending herself. Like, we always constantly have to defend ourselves because we're always constantly under attack, whether we're at work and we're in an environment where we feel like we can't express ourselves the way that we want to because we're stereotyped, or with Black men and how they like to label us angry and bitter. And it just seems like we can never fully be emotional. You know, it's like everyone else around us can be emotional, but we have to hold it in, and it causes stress. It causes us to be depressed. It causes us to lash out and spaz out at random times. And in a lot of cases, in her situation, she just wants to react to everything, every little negative thing. She wants to react because she feels like if she doesn't react, then this person is going to be able to get away with disrespecting her, and it makes her feel shitty on the inside. So I feel that Black women are misunderstood because we lack being defended for. Like, no one is defending us. We're out here and we have to defend ourselves because no one is doing it for us. People are always giving her a hard time about her relationship with this rapper, but honestly, this rapper, this relationship that she's in, is teaching her the things that her father could never teach her because he wasn't there emotionally. Yeah, sometimes that happens. And so she's gonna go through some things that most women that had that emotional relationship with their father won't experience or go through, because they were taught that, or they were taught how to be treated through their dad. They were taught how to develop an emotional relationship through their dad. But if you never had that, then you're going to have to experience that with a man. And sometimes that means you're going to have to go through some shitty experiences with that man to really figure it out, to really understand, to really know what it's like, you know. And it really sucks. So a lot of people give her a lot of shit to be dating this rapper, but honestly, this is her life and this is her experience, and he's going to teach her some things. I don't see them being together forever and ever and ever, but I do feel that he's going to teach her some things that she just needs to learn about herself. But that's all that I have regarding this video, you guys. Comment down below. I would love your opinion on this topic. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload, and I'll catch you in my next one.